a chance to fully excel here. Ah, it's just a smooth power. All right, today we are going for a drive in a brand new 2023 BMW X4 M40i. So we have the B58 6-cylinder option here from BMW. This one is pretty much fully loaded. Brooklyn gray exterior. We got the upgraded 21-inch wheels with summer performance tires, red M Sport brakes. Just love the coupe look of the X4. Big M40 badge, big black rear diffuser, and I love how you get into the trunk through the emblem. Just like that. Now this is the key fob that you get with the X4 M40i. Privacy cover, lots of rear trunk space, and additional storage as well. You also have the comfort access with the foot wipe like that, and we'll put our dealer plate in place. All right, before we hop on to the inside, let's take a look at the back seats. This is BMW's black Sansa Tech interior, 2 USB-C ports, rear climate control, and a pretty big sunroof up there. Now from the outside, if you want to know it's an M40i, we have the M-winged mirror caps as well as the dual slatted M grille on the front. And the inside, it gets this nice tri-color stitching on the steering wheel here. Absolutely love that. Our engine start button is down here. Turn that on. Let's go for a test drive in this brand new BMW. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll get on the road, we'll go for a drive, we'll do a little bit of backstreet driving, we'll do a little bit of highway driving. I'll talk about the infotainment system, the suspension feel, the engine, the transmission. We'll go over all of that stuff. Before we get going on the video, I do have to give a big shout out to Parkview BMW here in Toronto, Canada. If you guys are in the Toronto marketplace and you're looking for a BMW, make sure you come visit Parkview BMW. You can even reach out to me on the sales side at my email down below. I'll leave that linked at the bottom of this video. And now we will get onto the road. Here we go. Nice grunty acceleration from the B58 with a nice tone to it. We're starting out in comfort mode. We do have eco, like this, and sport mode. We'll drive a little bit around in comfort mode. And then as we get closer to the highway, we'll switch over and we'll do that sport mode driving. Now the X4, my bad X4, get a little tongue-tied sometimes. The X4 is on BMW's iDrive 7. So there's 7th generation of their infotainment system for BMW that they call iDrive. We can see here, this one has the upgraded live cockpit professional, so the 14-inch display screen, and this thing is absolutely massive. It's like the size of a tablet, just right there on your screen. You also have the full digital gauge cluster as well, which does change a little bit of the input and, you know, color changes between sport, eco, and comfort mode. So we'll touch a little bit on the infotainment system, but one thing I love about the X4 compared to the other BMWs right now, this is one of the very last remaining cars that you can get in 2023, 2024 that has physical buttons for the climate control menu. So all right here is your climate control menu. All the other BMWs, they're pushing it into the curved display screen with iDrive 8 system. So that's one thing that I really appreciate about the X4 and its sister, the X3. If you guys are interested in the X3 M40i or the normal X3 or the plug-in hybrid, check out my channel. I've got lots of X3 videos up there for the 2023 models, and we'll get the 2024s as soon as they start rolling into the dealership, probably around October. But yeah, I just love how you have the physical buttons, you have the memory 1 through 8 so you can set to anything. I love to set 1 as home navigation, 2 as work, 3 as the radio presets. Kind of goes away a little bit with the iDrive 8 system. Then you have the iDrive controller down here, so touch screen or through the iDrive controller. You also have your transmission controller, sport, comfort, eco, auto holding brake function there, and below this flap here is 2 cup holders, wireless device charging tray, and a USB port. Now one thing with the X4, you don't get as big as a rear glass back there because that sloping hatch design. So it's a little bit harder to see through that rear view mirror than it would be for the X3. Now comparing the X4 to the X3, they're built on the same chassis, they have the same engine, the same all-wheel drive system, but you pay more for the X4 because it's a little bit exclusive and you get less space out of it. They probably make about 20 X3s for every one X4, so there's a certain little bit of a exclusive club when you have the X4. Very large panoramic glass sunroof, sunshade control operation right there. Full power comes through. You can block out all that sun, or we can open it back up. We're almost at the highway, so we'll put it into sport mode now and we'll test it on the highway. One thing I love about this car is the fact they have sport and they have sport plus. Sport makes it aggressive, the engine comes in quicker, it's great, but you go into sport plus, and now it also does the transmission tuning changes. The shifts are more aggressive, it holds the RPMs higher. It's not trying to upshift as quick as possible to save fuel, it keeps you at the RPMs. It'll hold the RPMs, as you'll see, at like 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, waiting for you to get back onto that power, and I absolutely love it. One thing that I also love too is the sport gauges. So let's get into that, and then here we go. Let's test it on the highway. Have a chance to fully excel here. Ah, it's just a smooth power. See, those RPMs are holding because we're in that Sport Plus mode. Here, a little bit of the burples on that deceleration there. So we have turbo PSI, engine temperature, G-force meter, torque and horsepower ratings. It's excellent. This car also has active stop and go cruise control. So if we turn this button on here, turn that up to, I don't know, 100, doesn't matter because it's monitoring that car in front. Now, once you map the vehicle and you have it all set, real-time traffic info and everything, this will be hands-free up to 60 kilometers per hour. So if you find yourself in that really torturous stop and go traffic, it will actually be hands-free for you as well. You can see here on the gauge cluster, it's sensing the cars in front and around us. We'll turn the cruise control off now and just give it a little bit of excel. So we're going to take the highway to the next exit, get a feel for you guys, feel the suspension, hear the interior cockpit noise, and then we will get off of the next one. We'll go through the infotainment system menus, show you everything you need to know about the infotainment system, so you guys are well equipped in this virtual test drive of a 2023 BMW X4 M40i. I gotta say, if you need a little bit more power than a 4-cylinder, this B58 engine is phenomenal. I had it in my M240 for a year. There's a reason that everybody wants this engine. Toyota has in the Supra. It is a fantastic engine. You also have a lot of safety systems inside this vehicle. Just by clicking this button right here, you go right into, and you can configure all of your safety systems. So pre-collision, side collision warning, lane departure warning, steering intervention. If I'm fading out of this lane, there's the steering wheel, just pulled me back and vibrated the steering wheel. Active blind spot monitoring, little triangle on the mirror, steering intervention for that as well. So if you try to lane change into somebody, it's all there to help keep you safe and protected. Oh, you need to pass somebody? No problem. Now I know a lot of Americans are watching this video and you're like, how are you doing 100 miles per hour? Well, we're not doing 100 miles per hour. If I go into settings, I go into displays, we go into instrument panel, and I go down to converted speed. There we go. We also have miles per hour showing there for you guys. So we're gonna get off of this exit, and then I'll walk you guys through more of the infotainment system. I love the firmness of the suspension. Like, we're in an SUV, but I feel like I can handle these corners like I'm in a sedan or a coupe. Like, it's just so planted, so grippy with these summer performance tires. 21-inch, very low profile. They look aggressive on the outside. They're planted on the inside. It just feels like you can drive this car so much faster. Every time you go on the on-ramps and the off-ramps, it's like, you know, you can go 10, 20 kilometers faster than what you're going. Right, we're back in the road. Oh my gosh, it sounds beautiful as well. We're gonna go into normal sport mode just because I don't, those transmissions, there's no need for it. There's also sport individual. So say you want the engine to be sport, but the steering, you don't want the steering to get stiffer when you go into sport. So we're gonna leave the steering in comfort. So engine, transmission, dampening goes into sport, but the steering stays soft. That's where sport individual comes in. So now my steering is nice and soft, just like it was in comfort mode. All right, now as we're heading back to the dealership, one thing I want to show you guys is the standard navigation that you'll get with the BMW. You also have Apple CarPlay and no, there's drawing here, so you can draw P A R K V. There we go, Parkview BMW. Don't forget, this is where you need to come if you're looking to purchase a BMW. I personally don't like the voice instructions, so I always turn that off. Once you purchase a vehicle and you map the connected drive system to real-time traffic info, instead of being white, it will be green or orange or red depending on your traffic situation. It also tells you in your gauge cluster where you need to go and in your head-up display. One thing I love about the gauge cluster is even if you're like, I don't know, media over here, and you didn't get the head-up display option, you still have it in this gauge cluster, which is a standard feature. So that is a fantastic option to get. Satellite radio, and we'll go back through. So this is your main menu. You can configure these tiles to show exactly what you want. Media, communications, navigation, and apps. So media, you go into that, select satellite radio, FM radio, which one's your favorite, and you can do it through touchscreen or through the iDrive controller. I feel like when you're sitting back in your seat, the iDrive controller is much more convenient than trying to reach forward. Communications for your cell phone, your contacts, messages, mobile devices. Navigation, we were just in there. Car is where the majority, well, pretty much all the settings are going to be. So you do have car, you have driving information, so trip data, the sport gauge we were in before. There's also X view, tells you what your angle is, your altitude. There's also, if you go into eco mode, you open up the option for driving style analytics. Basically tells you how fuel efficient you are. We haven't been very fuel efficient at all. And then there's energy flow, shows you where that energy is going. Whether it's charging up your battery, a little bit of regenerative braking on this vehicle. There's vehicle status, so tire pressure monitoring system, engine oil level, any check control messages or services that are required. It's going to pop up there. And then you get into the beefy settings. So the first one's general settings, you know, time and date, automatic time settings, your format, your languages, sound, you know, all of that stuff is going to be underneath here. Mobile devices, software upgrades, driving modes, so sport eco and eco individual, both of those can be customized. Exterior lighting, so your one touch for your turn signals, your daytime driving lights, welcome hellos, pathway lighting for after you shut the vehicle off. Driving assistance, so we were in this menu for all the safety systems I was showing you. Then you can also go into driving, display driving view when you have the active stop and cruise control on, parking and maneuvering, vibrations in the steering wheel feedback, and the light elements. Displays, we're in this a little bit. You can also configure head-up display, so like brightness you can do, height you can do, almost a little too high there, and you can even rotate it if needed. You can select whether you not want navigation to show up in the head-up display or not, and additional displays, speed limit info, instrument panel. So right now you can have it as power meter, or you can have it as the tachometer for your revs in normal mode, light comfort mode, just like that. Doors and vehicles access, so you can set the height of that tailgate. You can add in a digital key to your cell phone. You can have proximity sensing for automatically, as soon as you walk away from the vehicle, locks behind you. Unlock at the end of the trip. Fold in the mirrors when it's locked. All of that can be set up. Interior lighting, the brightness, the ambient lighting color. There's even dynamic light. So if the car is running and the door is open, your ambient lighting on the door panel is going to be flashing red to warn for pedestrians. Dim it for nighttime driving. Climate menu, so this is where you need to go in to activate that remote engine start for the vehicle. Departure times, air quality, all of that's going to be in that menu. And then key button assignments, same thing that we had before, whether you want to lock the vehicle with one door or all the doors when you're unlocking it. You can go through and set those settings. Driver profiles is the best thing. You can make sure that all of the settings, everything that you've adjusted in here is saved into your driver profile. If anybody else gets in the vehicle, not only is it saving over your seat memory, but it's also saving over your temperature and your climate control, your safety systems, your navigation points, your ambient lighting color. All of that stuff is done through your profile. And then after that, you do have a digital owner's manual, so you can do keyword searches for anything. We are almost at the end of the test drive, guys. If you guys are in the Toronto marketplace looking to purchase a BMW, please reach out to me. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed this so far and you found it useful and you purchased towards an X4. Once again, big shout out to Parkview BMW for giving me the vehicle for this test drive. I am on the sales team, so feel free to send me an email down below. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is the self-parking function that this vehicle has with the 360 parking camera. So once you get premium enhanced package, it gives you a head-up display, Harman Kardon sound system. It also gives you the Parking Assistant Professional or the Surround Parking Assistant Plus with surround view system, and I'm going to show you guys how to activate that. So when you're pulling in and you're looking for a parking spot, what you want to do is click the button down here by your transmission controller. This P with the 3 little lines. It's going to pop up the sensors and it's going to start finding parking spots for you. After you drive past a parking spot, it senses that it's there, and then it'll help you put you into that spot. So there we go. Click park, and we'll let it do its thing. The dealer plate that I had to put on in order to go for the drive is affecting the rear view camera, but luckily it's using more of the proximity than the camera for this system. The lights on the steering wheel are green. You know that it is activating and you are good to just let it do its thing. You can see here on the sides it's putting us in between those two spots. I wish this wasn't blocking the camera there, but you gotta trust the system. It takes a little bit. And here we go. You can see it putting us in between these two vehicles. And then once you get down and you're done, puts it into park, and you're good to step out of the vehicle. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.